Seltzer Kings.
Podcasts.
Some things work better together, like NARS's Soft Matte Complete Concealer and Radiant Creamy Concealer. Soft Matte Complete Concealer erases and blurs imperfections with full coverage. Then, Radiant Creamy Concealer evens and brightens with a luxurious texture and radiant finish. 2 concealers, 1 flawless look. Perfect for a no foundation base. NARS, better together. Visit Ulta to shop now.
Okay, for my next boyfriend, Jude Law type or Colin Farrell type.
Next, what happened to Logan?
He's insanely jealous all the time and it's getting on my nerves.
I know it's not cool to admit this, but I like a jealous streak on a man. Keeps him in line.
All yours. I'm ditching his party this weekend because I don't want him getting all crazy violent every time a boy undresses me with his eyes, which happens all the time. It's not my fault. I can't help it. God made me fabulous.
Well, if you're ditching, that means Yolanda and I will have to party for 3.
Which means Yolanda will have to be partying for 2.5. Oh, but we're still going to that Fleet Week thing in San Diego, right? It's the best. All these weird, angry bands play, and hundreds of cute sailors get totally wasted and fight on the sidewalk.
You know, I'm really glad I met you guys.
Should be glad. We're the best.
Hey, what's happening, everybody out there in podcast listening land? Welcome to another episode of Boys Watching Veronica Mars. We're just 2 boys watching every episode of Veronica Mars for the first time, giving our review, our reactions. We're your hosts. I am Joe Welke.
I am Vance.
Today we're talking about Season 1, Episode 13, titled Lord of the Bling. Directed by Steve Gomer, written by John Enbaum. Original air date.
Really? It's very fitting for what happens in this episode.
Yeah. John Enbaum. Original air date. February 8th, 2005 to an audience of 2.97 million people. And before we hop into this episode, just want to remind you guys, join our Discord. The link is in the show notes. Join our Patreon, patreon.com/boyswatchingbuffy. We're doing Boys Watching Dollhouse on there. We are also doing Boys Watching Movies on there. The movie of the month is 500 Days of Summer. Be on the lookout for that. Got a lot. That's a good one. Yes,
that'll be out this week. And yeah, you're gonna like that one.
Also, if you don't want to subscribe for the Boys Watching Movies, you can purchase that review individually on our Patreon as well as with all the movies. So that is an option for you. Buffy vs. Burlesque happening May 3rd, 2025, 9:30 p.m. at Illusion Magic Lounge in Santa Monica, California. BuffyVSBurlesque.eventbrite.com. It is a Buffy the Vampire themed burlesque show that I am putting on. It's going to be a lot of fun, a lot of stress, a lot of fun. But if you want to come and you're a listener of the pod, you get a discount code. It's all caps, no spaces, Boys Watching Buffy.
And just to clarify, no stress for the audience.
No stress for the audience.
Okay.
No, yeah. You guys get to just enjoy it.
Okay.
I'm stressing.
Okay.
I got a lot going on with this show. So be there for that. Also, Vance, take it away.
As some people may already know who follow the feed, we did a crossover episode with the lovely Brian and Stacy of Buffy the Gilmore Slayer, and we reviewed the Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants. That is available now on our feed, and check them out. I know people wanted us to do Gilmore Girls, and they've done it all. They've done Gilmore Girls, and they're also doing Veronica Mars, and they're a little ahead of us. So
yeah,
if
they're
you
doing
can't help,
Veronica Mars on their Patreon, I think.
Yes, they're season 3 right now, I believe.
Yeah,
somewhere in there. So If you can't wait for the boys to catch up and you need your fix, check out Buffy the Gilmore Slayer. It was a good time. One of our best podcasts ever, I would say.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah.
Brian and Stacey were fucking awesome. Super funny. Good times chatting about Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants. Will we work with them again? Who's to say? Hopefully.
Yeah. I mean, there is a sequel to the Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants, and people are saying it's the best one.
Oh my God.
But yeah, they're great. Check them out.
Yeah, they're awesome. And you know what? Keep your eyes out too. We got some more stuff.
Yeah, we're just
more stuff percolating.
Yeah, the boys are doing stuff.
Yeah, we're doing stuff.
Speaking of
moves.
Speaking of stuff, I don't normally do this, but I want to do a little follow up from last episode. When I brought up,
here we go.
And the only reason I'm bringing this follow up is for the people that like listen to these podcasts like back to back, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So I want to say, after I recorded the podcast last week, I ran into Walton Goggins, who we were just talking about. And I have to say, Riz confirmed. He's got the Riz.
Yeah, he just got a text message like right after we were done recording. Later on that night, I got a text message from Vance. Just ran into Walton Goggins. Dude's fucking awesome.
I think that's the first time I've been like kind of starstruck, and only because we had just finished talking about him. Like I just finished watching Vice Principals. I just talked about it on the podcast. Went to go pick up food. I come out. There he is. And I just said to him, "Nice job, man." And he goes, "Thanks. I like your sunglasses." Yeah. I was like, all right. And I just kept it moving. And he hopped in his convertible and drove off.
Oh, of course he's got a convertible.
It was I don't know exactly what car.
Hairline blowing in the breeze, baby.
He was looking good. He was looking good.
No, I love the backhanded compliments that are all over social media about him. About like, yeah, this man's got the most cropped hairline of all fucking time. It doesn't matter. It's just like reading that, like, God damn.
He's doing it for all of us receding hairlanders.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Meanwhile, I'm taking fucking hymns every day.
Right. Is it working for you?
Still got my hair, kind of.
I want to see you on the testimony. Hims is not going to be one of the sponsors.
But hopefully C4 will.
Yeah.
Nice transition, Joe. I'm fucking rocking watermelon.
Same. We're back.
We're
back on it. No.
No.
No. No.
I gotta do it for John and Bob.
Honestly, the title of this episode and seeing the screenshot beforehand, I already knew what was coming, and it was everything that I was afraid of this episode being. The Vibe magazine references, the Suge Knight parallel.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Wallace's hair.
Oh god, yeah, dude, this is fucking.
This is some early 2000s.
Oh my god, dude, my stomach already hurts. What did we predict for this?
I just said
the watermelon thing was not planned.
I wasn't planned either. As soon as I looked at mine, as soon as you started saying,
as soon as I was about to say it, I was like, "Oh no!"
Yeah, minefield. Yeah, I just wanted a delicious drink.
Oh my god!
Oh, this podcast is off to a start.
It's terrible.
When
do we get to Dollhouse?
I just said missing jewelry because I saw the thumbnail before, and I guess I nailed it.
Kind of did.
Which is random, but yeah. And
took a long time to get to that, but yeah.
Doesn't make a lot of sense. I have some nitpicks that I'm ready for you to unravel and say, come on, Vance. And you predicted that Flavor Flav comes to town and his bling gets stolen and Weevil gets blamed and Veronica saves him. No Flav, no
Flav.
stolen bling, no Weevil at all.
Well.
Yep.
Well. So this episode starts with a recap of Veronica going to counseling, Logan being mad at Veronica for breaking him and Lilly up because Veronica tattled on Logan to Lilly that he like kissed some other girl. Aaron Eccles and his wife having a fight. Logan threatening his dad. Logan's mom's gone missing. Presumed dead. I didn't notice this the first time we watched the episode last week, but Lynn Eccles' lip fillers are out of control.
Mm-hmm.
Out of control, dude.
Oh, she's a real housewife of Beverly Hills, maybe? I don't know. I never watch them. My wife has them on.
Lip fillers. Some of these lip fillers. Good Lord.
Yeah.
But anyway.
You know what I noticed in this recap is when Logan turns to confront his dad, his hand like almost touches his dad, but it's like actory where he didn't want to like really push him. So he's like trying to get in his face, but also pulling back at the same time. It's you got to just like watch it and see it. You'll see it.
Yeah. So the episode opens up with our good buddy Anthony Anderson chilling by the pool. I think this guy's career is very underrated.
You think he's underrated?
So many things. Underrated.
Why?
I fucking love Anthony Anderson.
I think it's properly rated. What more
you think
do you want?
Properly rated?
Yeah, what more do you think he needs to get?
He needs more accolades. Did he win anything? Has he won a thing for like Blackish or anything?
I know you watch Blackish start to finish, right?
Boys watching Blackish.
His career is underrated. Have you seen Blackish? No. The thing he's most well known for. You watch Blackish?
I've seen Blackish.
You watch it?
I haven't seen all of it, but I've seen it here and there. Like I've seen it as much as I've seen like Modern Family.
Okay.
But Blackish is fun. And also he was in Law and Order for a little bit too, right?
He was in one of those criminal intent things for a bit.
Yeah.
I remember him. One of my earlier memories of him is some Saturday morning show. You know those Saturday morning, like past when they were Saturday morning cartoons, but past that there was the like Saved by the Bell and all those like live action early morning shows. Yeah. He was in a show, one of those type shows like City Guys or something. And he was playing basketball.
City Guys?
Yeah.
Dude, I remember City Guys.
I think he was in City Guys or an episode of City Guys. And he ended up like, he was playing basketball and then he got benched. But then he ended up becoming like the almost like a cheerleader, cheering the crowd up. And it was so silly. It was so 90s. And yeah.
You know, it's like people talk about how Samuel L. Jackson's in everything, but Anthony Anderson is in fucking everything.
I was going to save this for later, but I think Anthony Anderson has the size for this role. He does not have the intimidation factor at all.
No,
it's every one of those scenes falls a little flat for me.
Yeah.
Not to knock Anthony Anderson as a whole, but I'm saying I don't think he has that. He goes to his well of like sympathy too much.
Yeah.
Like he's a charismatic, sympathetic actor, and him trying to come across as tough, even though like they're trying to say he's not as tough in this, but
he's like tough.
You want him to exude the faux toughness a little more. Yeah.
I loved Anthony Anderson in Scary Movie 3.
I knew that was coming up.
He and Kevin Hart, they played off each other so well in that movie. Such a good fucking role for him. But yeah, dude, like I fucking always a pleasure seeing Anthony Anderson around. So he's on the phone by the pool. His wife comes and talks to him about how his son is dropping PE class and the daughter has been taking horse riding lessons. And he's like, man, how the hell did I get out of here? A guy from the hood. And now I got kids doing horse riding lessons. He's got a very high-pitched voice. Does he not?
Yeah. I don't know if it sounds like that, though.
He's got a very high-pitched voice. All right, we've discovered I can't do an Anthony Anderson voice. Willem Dafoe I got.
Yeah. He's not in this.
But yeah, his son shows up, and his son's all nerdy, and he's like, how do I have a son like this? I'm a big, tough rap mogul, and my son's a huge fucking nerd.
and my wife is played by Sherry Headley from Coming to America, and she's not going to get a lot of lines or attention in this entire episode, which is crazy.
Yeah. But the son shows up to deliver the news that Anthony Anderson's character's name is Bone Hamilton. Bone's daughter is gone missing, Yolanda.
Yeah.
So that's the crux of the episode.
Yeah, and Bone is a Suge Knight stand-in. They really just copy a bunch of Suge Knight stuff and just put it on him. You know when you move to Neptune, the richest,
the whitest city in the world.
I mean, it's nowhere near as white as Sunnydale. There's definitely a lot more.
That's true.
That's true. There's a lot more culture in Neptune.
Yeah, at least there's Latinos in Neptune.
There's black people too. There's Wallace. There's a guy in the background. There's even in the scene. I'm saying even in the background, there's black characters.
I have not.
There's a black character behind Logan in the next scene when they're talking about Yolanda showing up.
Well, we go to Veronica and Wallace. They're at the Mars Investigations office, and they're talking about Aaron Eccles' whole scandal and how it's taken the world by storm, and it must suck to be Logan, but it doesn't really suck that bad because we don't really give a fuck about Logan. He's still an asshole. And Keith shows up, and Keith's looking worse for wear. Veronica is telling him to take his back pills because he hurt himself trying to lift a bail jumper. And then Veronica's asking Wallace if she can touch his hair, and it's awkward as hell. Wallace
has twists now.
Yeah. Looks good.
It looks fine, and this scene looks weird in the later next scene. Lynn apparently left a suicide note on her BlackBerry. And talking about that. Yeah, they're real casual talking about Logan's mom killing herself. And
as if they weren't at the party where the dad got stabbed.
As if the dad isn't one of the bigger Hollywood actors, it's just casual.
But then Bone Hamilton shows up, and he's looking for Keith, and Wallace recognizes him. He's like, you know who that is, right, Veronica? And she's like, oh, of course I know, but for the audience, why don't you explain who that is? Well, that's Bone Hamilton. He's the CEO or whatever of Drive By Records. And he dangled a guy out of a window at some point. He's crazy. He's dangerous. And so Bone Hamilton goes to Keith, and he's like, hey, my daughter's missing. I need to help find her. Veronica's like, oh, I actually know his daughter. We used to be friends. And then this was the worst.
We used to be friends a long time ago.
If we were doing quote unquote, but we're not. But that would be just for the timing of it all.
They were trying. They went for it there.
They did something.
I think they could have saved it. You get to do this once, and I don't think this was the time to do it.
Yolanda, a new character.
For this made-up character that obviously didn't exist.
Yeah. For Veronica to drop we used to be friends a long time ago. A long time ago.
Yeah.
We used to be friends, but...
It only would have been better if she started singing the song and Wallace was just watching her like, what is happening?
He's like, oh, you don't know Dandy Warhol's Wallace? This white people band? I don't know Bone Hamilton. You don't know Dandy Warhol's.
Bone Hamilton opens the door like, hey, what is that sound? What's this new sound? Are they signed? And that's when Bone Hamilton got into different type of music.
His cred. Yeah. Lost all of his cred, gained a lot of money. Anyway, so Keith is looking over Yolanda's files that Bone brought, And Bone is concerned about where she is. He thinks someone kidnapped her, and Keith is like, this is just like maybe she's just out with some friends or something. This could be just like childhood, teenage, adolescent shit. And Bone's like, nah, that's not how my daughter acts. Maybe your daughter does that shit, you terrible father, but my daughter doesn't do that shit. And Keith is like, well, this seems a little above my pay grade. Why don't you go to the police? And Bone's like, the police don't like me, and I don't like the police. And Keith's like, fair enough. I feel you.
I like that he tells Keith, like, I think you don't like the police either. And I was like, finally, that's all I need. I just need that one line of why anyone would ever go to Keith.
Yeah. Yeah, Bone's like, I'm not a fan of the police. And from what I know about you, you're not either. And then Keith gives him a little smirk like, my man.
Keith's face in these scenes, man.
Yeah.
Well, Bone tells him to check out Sam Bloom before he leaves.
Yeah, Bone gives him a list of suspects. It's a long list. At the top of the list is a guy named Sam Bloom. But as he's on his way out, he's like, and that's just the SoCal list of people that I suspect. I got a list for Atlanta, Chicago, New York. And Keith's like, God damn. So we then have Veronica. She's cooking something at home for Keith.
They have such a weird non-father-son relationship and more like weird husband-wife relationship that just like even when he comes in about the back injury and she's like, take your pills. He's like, stop nagging me. I was like, geez, dude, what's going on?
Yeah.
Their vibe is off.
Veronica's cooking some kind of pasta. Keith's kind of striking out on Yolanda at the moment. And Veronica's like, well, I was classmates with her. I could ask around about her. And Keith's like, sure, but don't go too far.
Dude, I don't just let her
Keep
help
it discreet. Yeah. And he's reading like Vibe at the moment, catching up on trying to figure out the world. Yeah. So Veronica's then at school, and we get a flashback at Yolanda's first day at Neptune High. And it's her, Duncan, Logan, and Lilly. They see Yolanda come in, and the boys start going gaga over Yolanda. Logan says some shit like, yeah, I'm down with the swirl or something like that. He's like, these eyes don't see race or some shit, but they see the content of what's in her sweater or whatever.
Lilly says, oh, it's nice to see that you guys are equal opportunity oglers, which is already crazy. Like, they can't just look at her and be like, fine, it has to be like an equal opportunity thing.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Lilly hooks up with Weevil. I don't know. Whatever. And then Logan, he always delivers his lines as like stately. Like they're so, it's like a short line, but it delivers it very long. And he goes, I judge not by the color of their skin, but the contents of their sweater. And he's so happy with himself.
He like daps up Duncan. Duncan's like, I'll dap you up, but only because you're my friend.
I like that Logan, when he first saw Veronica, thought she was attractive. When he first saw Yolanda, he thought she was attractive. Like, is there any girl that he doesn't see as attractive?
I mean, they're all hot girls.
Yeah. But the fact that he's going to hook up with all of them.
Yeah. By the end of this episode, I was like, oh, I see it. I see how it's happening.
But honestly, this feels like they just made this up last episode.
Yeah, I don't like it.
Has Yolanda been in school this whole time and just not hanging out with him?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, like
she had a new crew.
Okay, so
she had to find a new crew.
Okay.
Anyway, so the crew, the 09er crew of Veronica used to be in, they disperse. Yolanda's walking around clueless, and Veronica offers to help her find her classes because Yolanda's about to walk into the teacher's lounge, and thus a friendship is born.
I love Veronica's flashback outfits where she's like all like sweatered up and stuff, and now she's like leather jacket.
Her hair's all so long and straight, and like she's Paris Hilton core, like pink, and then like the plaid skirts and shit.
Yeah, she looks like so innocent.
Yeah. So we then have Keith going over to Sam Bloom's office. And Keith's asking him about where Yolanda is. Hey, this girl's gone missing. You know anything about that? And he's like, yeah, I don't know anything about that. But me and Bone Hamilton, we've got some beef in the past. And Keith is like, yeah, he told me that you're like number one on his list of suspects because you guys have such bad beef. And the story goes that Bone Hamilton was trying to do some tax evasion, and it was either Bone went down or his lawyer went down, who Sam Bloom is. And Sam Bloom was like, I had to protect my practice. I wasn't going to protect him for him doing his tax evasion. And he took offense to that because I kind of ratted him out and he went to jail. And then like the next week after that, drive-by happens and it shot me up and now I am in a wheelchair. And Keith's like, all right, so there is motive.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting little twist. Did the little wheelchair reveal very well.
And no poker face on Keith's face. When he starts wheeling from behind the desk, it's like, it's like jaw drops. He's like, oh God, you're one of those people.
I didn't know I was talking to people that fucking park closer to the side.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, Keith.
I'll tell you, I just love having him in scenes because I don't know what he's gonna do. I just don't know what he's gonna do. He's such a wild card.
Yes. But yeah, so Bloom is in a wheelchair because Bone tried to have him killed, or that's what everyone is saying. That's what Bloom thinks, that's what Keith now thinks, etc. So then we have Veronica questioning the other black student of Neptune High, Gabrielle.
And I'm telling you, there's a bunch of black students in there. I don't know what you're saying. There's so
what happened to the girl that Wallace had a crush on?
I'm telling you, we've already seen so many black students compared to our Sunnydale days. Like this.
Yeah, I mean, you're definitely right. You're definitely right. I forgot about the girl, Georgia. That was her name.
Remember, Dawn had a black best friend, and then that turned into somebody else.
Yeah. Yeah, Dawn did have a black friend. Remember her little Slayer crew that went nowhere?
Yeah, I thought that was going to be something.
Me too.
Yeah.
Anyway. So Veronica's questioning a girl named Gabrielle about where Yolanda is. And Veronica can tell that she's lying because she's watched a bunch of old cop shows. She's like, hey, Gabrielle, stop lying. Where the fuck? What happened? And Gabrielle's like, okay, fine, I'll tell you. We went to a bar called The Bender, and because Yolanda knew the bouncer there who could get her in, and we were just partying all night. And then, and then she just, I don't know, she just went missing.
Wait, they didn't need $250 fake IDs to get into this club?
Guess not, if you're Bone's daughter.
Yeah.
But what I didn't like about this is, like, Gabrielle is, like, very willingly giving Veronica all this information. And then after that, after she gives her all the information, Veronica's like, all right, thanks. And then Gabrielle's like, what the fuck? Why are you questioning me, Veronica? She just gets mad and snaps at Veronica for no reason.
Well, no, she says, like, who are you? Which sets up the, like, this is who I am. I was Yolanda's best friend or first friend. Yeah. But they have her say, like, she gets mad. Like, Veronica goes to question Gabrielle. And then we get the voice over her being like, you can tell when someone's lying. They're not making eye contact. The smile isn't frowning their face. And then she says, hey, Gabrielle, what really happened? And then Gabrielle spills her guts. And then after spilling her guts, reacts like, who are you anyway? Like, why am I telling you all this? It's like, did you just get hypnotized? Yeah. You had no incentive to rat out Yolanda to this girl who you can't be like, who are you? One, Yolanda be like, that's that bitch, Veronica, that I used to be friends with.
Yeah.
Two, everybody in the school knows who Veronica is, except for when they meet her in episodes. It was the same thing with Buffy, where we couldn't tell what Buffy's status was in the school.
Yeah. Well, Gabrielle, like, takes her books and stuff. She, like, slams them on the table, and she's like, who the hell are you? I was like, you were just having a nice conversation, it seemed like.
Why would you even give this information up about your friend? to this stranger.
I guess
stranger.
Missing?
But at that point, you would have to know Veronica's like a person that tracks people down, because that was a big thing going around the school.
Yeah.
But no, they're too busy trying to set up the, who are you? I'll tell you. I was Yolanda's first friend.
How did I lose my virginity? I want to know too. Who am I? Well, me and Veronica used to be buds. Then we get a flashback to Yolanda at the 09er lunch table, and Dick Casablancas is asking her about her dad, and she's all like, my dad's more famous than your dad. And then Logan's talking about how his parents are going out of town and they're going to have a big party, and Yolanda is invited. You gotta come. You gotta. But now you're sitting lunch with us. You have to come.
I already don't even buy the story that they tell where Lilly says Logan's parents go out of town twice a year and he throws a big party and then he gets in trouble afterwards.
Yeah.
His dad is a big movie star. He is out of town more than twice a year. He is not in Neptune most of the year. It is impossible.
Yeah.
He would
Maybe
go.
His mom is around.
Premieres alone.
Yeah.
Sundance? Is he going to any festivals?
Yeah.
He's traveling, man. He's definitely traveling.
Cannes, Venice Film Festival. He's doing something.
He's taking meetings.
Yeah. Well, speaking of Logan and his dad, we get a scene of Logan walking into Aaron's room, and Aaron is kind of like jaw dropped. He's grief stricken. He's looking at an old picture of Logan, and they talk about, he's like, hey, remember when we went to the zoo when you were 10 and we told your mom that it was going to be a costume party, but it was all a prank, and your mom, dude, this bothered me. This is such a little tiny nitpick thing, but it bothered me. So the story is that Aaron was going to tell everybody to dress up for Logan's 10th birthday party at the zoo, and everybody had to dress up as their favorite animal.
Mm-hmm.
And Logan's mom dressed up like a mermaid. That's not an animal.
It's delivered in a way that's it's tough because they want it to be like a cute story of like how like just a fond memory. But
yeah,
boy,
because then it's like the mom just wore the outfit the rest of the day. It's like, you shouldn't bring a change of clothes.
Also, why'd you trick her only to do that? Why didn't everybody do that?
I don't know.
But also the mermaid thing. It's just like, yeah, she's not that bright.
That's what I took away from this.
Yeah.
Like, she thinks a mermaid is an animal?
Like, if her favorite animal was a unicorn, I'd give her a little more benefit, even though that's a fictional one. But
I mean, at least the unicorn is all animal.
Yeah. I was like, oh, you like horses, but you wish they had a horn on there. Yeah, sure. Okay.
Yeah. Went dressed as a mermaid. But Logan remembers this differently because he remembers on the way home, he spilled a little bit of his milkshake and his dad slammed his face against the back of the seat rest or whatever. And Aaron's like, oh, you're overreacting. You're misremembering that. I was grabbing you and the car hit the brakes by accident and your head slammed in there by accident and it wasn't me. And Logan's like, whatever, dude. I definitely remember you slamming my head on the fucking headrest.
Yeah.
And then they have a awful conversation where Aaron asks, have you heard from your sister? And I was like, the dead one? I keep forgetting that Lilly is Duncan's sister and that Logan has a sister.
Because they introduced that last week. The same as with this kiss at a party thing. These were introduced in stories last week. The sister thing is coming. I don't know if they found an actor that they really liked that was the sister, and they're like, we'll just sort of write her in.
Yeah. But Aaron asked Logan if he's heard from his sister, and then Logan does this horrible bit where he's like, yeah, she sent me a telegram. And it's all about like, sent flowers for mom, stop. Tell dad I'm grieving, stop. Everything's going well in Sydney, stop. And I was like, how long is this going to be? It went on for so long.
I know. It's 2004 or 5 here?
Yeah, 2005.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know what's happening.
Yeah, and then Aaron's like, Logan. And Logan's like, stop.
It's like they set up, they're like, oh, we want to have the stop thing in the scene. So let's do this bit.
Yeah.
There's a lot of setting up bits so you can have things that end scenes on. I don't know.
I mean, a long time ago, I used to be friends bit worked a hell of a lot better than this one.
That's fine. But I'm saying the like, who are you? I was Yolanda's first friend. Like,
I mean, even that worked better than this.
It works better than that, but it doesn't make any sense character-wise for the scene.
Yeah.
This whole telegram thing makes, like, she sent a telegram.
It's terrible. It's awful.
Yeah.
Dude, it went on for so long.
Yeah. And then the dad's just sitting in his robe with a photo of the wife.
Well, he's just, like, looking at Logan as Logan's doing this, like, half-hour bit.
Yeah. I don't, like, they have the weird, I don't know. It's an abusive relationship, but I just don't even
Yeah, I don't get it either.
I don't think Logan that I've seen would allow his dad to do the belt thing to him.
Yeah, he threatened to kill him last episode.
I just feel like he hasn't been broken mentally by the abuse to the point where he doesn't push back. You know what I mean? And he just out and he like lashes out at school. I mean, I'm not an expert on that at all, but it seems like he's willing to confront his dad over shit. Like, it's not like what we saw the first time.
Yeah, it's not like that scene where he's on the couch and his dad is like yelling at him and he's like scared shitless.
Yeah.
Like now he's very confrontational and antagonistic. And it's like, where was this?
And then all the backstory is like, oh, he throws a party and he gets grounded for it every time, but he's willing to get in trouble for it. And it's like, I don't know. Like, sure, you can act out, but he's like defiant in front of the face of his dad, like straight up. And
in public as well.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I mean, he could have reached a breaking point at this point, but it seems like that was kind of there to begin with. So,
that's what I was thinking as we were like talking through this. I was like, maybe the mom going missing / dead was the breaking point where he's like, enough of this. But I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. But thankfully, the doorbell rings and puts an end to this bit. So Keith, we then have a scene where Keith, he wants to go visit with Bones' old bodyguard at the club that Veronica heard about. Mm-hmm. So Veronica and Keith go together because Veronica doesn't trust him with his bad back to go alone. And Keith is the whitest guy in the world and he's not going to fit in. And Veronica's got to up his lingo, I guess.
No, she just wants to tag along because she wants to be a part of this case. And for some reason, Keith is just like, no, I don't want you on this case. I'm like, what are you doing, man? Like, she's on cases now. Like, that's it. Like, we don't need this, like, I'm trying to protect you from stuff. You know
just
what?
Call it Mars and Mars.
You know what would help protect her? If you guys had a buzzer on the door. So someone like Bones Hamilton couldn't just walk straight in.
Yeah.
He could kidnap anybody that you wrong could come in and kidnap Veronica.
Yeah. Yeah. She's just sitting at the front desk.
I'm like, how do I get back at the guy who chased down my partner or whatever? Oh, I'll just kidnap his daughter. Yeah.
No, instead of that, they'll do some elaborate Triton scheme.
Yeah. That he came up with on the spot. Yeah.
Yeah. So they go to the bar. Keith goes and questions the old bodyguard, and the bodyguard, like, he had eyes for Yolanda. Apparently, that's why he got fired. It seems like, and he's like, I didn't do anything. I just let her in. I didn't kidnap her. She was fine. But there was another suspicious person that was at the club, a guy named Dimebag. And you should check out Dimebag. If you're looking to question somebody about where Yolanda is, go and ask Dimebag. And Veronica notices also that there's like a valet stubs thing. And she's like, oh, that's a good idea. I'm going to steal this box of valet stubs and see who was there on that night.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, there you go.
How does the valet stubs work? Wouldn't it just be a ticket with a number on it?
Yeah, and I feel like they would get rid of those every night.
And wouldn't the number just be like a number to the other half of a ticket? Like if you go to a fair or a raffle?
Yeah, like a raffle.
It wouldn't actually be tied to anybody's name. Like when you valet a car, no one goes like, they just like have the keys and here's your number, here's a card. They don't give you, oh, this is your license plate, this is your name.
Yeah. Maybe in Neptune, maybe we're just not high class enough to go to the ones where they take your name and number and everything.
None of them take your name and number. They just they have their own number system.
Mm-hmm. All right. But I was thrown off because Dimebag is the name of like a dude that was in a metal band and he's dead. So I was like, do they not know about Dimebag Darrell?
I guess I didn't know about Dimebag Darrell.
Yeah. All right. Fair enough. So yeah, they're gonna go and they're gonna investigate Dimebag. So they go to the hotel where Dimebag is staying, and no dice. They can't get in. Keith doesn't have any leads there. So what does he do? He dresses up in a boiler suit, and he's gonna break into their hotel room and bug Dimebag's room to see if they can hear anything.
How is he gonna get into the room?
He's got a boiler suit on.
Pick the lock?
Vance, all doors open if you just look like a locksmith. Like
they're like,
put on a boiler suit.
They're like, this is a key card hotel. They're like, this is a key card hotel. What are you doing?
Dude, yeah. But then we have a flashback for Veronica hanging out with Yolanda and Lilly at Yolanda's house. And they're talking about, oh my God, your dad is so famous. He's got so many platinum records. And then they walk by the nerdy son, Bryce. And as soon as we got this scene, I knew where we were going with this. I was like, oh, there we go. So they walk by Bryce. They kind of bully him for being a nerd. And Lily's complaining to the girls about how jealous Logan has been lately. And Yolanda's like, I think a jealous streak on a man is actually quite hot. And then Lily's like, then you can fucking have him. So I'm done with this guy. And they plan on going to San Diego for Fleet Week to make heart eyes at all the naval guys. And Yolanda's like, I'm happy that we're friends and we're going to be friends forever.
Lilly is on one in this scene. Like,
Lily's always on one, bro. That's why they had to take her out.
I do find it funny that Lilly gets murdered and then Veronica takes the mantle of like that kind of attitude. Like she's like, oh, there's a void. I need to fill that. Because if anything, I would double down on my niceties. But she has gone through some trauma too. And her dad apparently trained her to be a master sleuth in one summer, probably.
I wonder if she picked up any of that sleuth stuff like before all of this happened. Like, was she like?
It doesn't seem like it.
At it.
It doesn't seem like it. It seems like it was a summer, and now she's like the best in the biz.
She's better than Keith.
She's better than Keith.
Student has become the master.
Lilly says, I can't help it. God made me fabulous. And I would like cringe if I heard someone say that directly about themselves directly. And then when Yolanda's like, I'm glad we're friends, Lilly goes, you should be glad. We're the best. It's like, boy.
Yeah.
Boy, oh boy.
Yeah. Are you starting to come around, Vance?
No, not at all.
Should have taken her out.
None of this constitutes.
That's death sentence material right there.
Joe, you'd be dead like 20 times over.
I know. I should have been taken out long ago, bro.
Now I'm understanding why you moved to the West Coast. You had to get away before the folks Jake came. Before Jake and Celeste Welke got to you.
Yeah. They're trying to take me out. Oh my God. So then we go back to present day, and Veronica's hanging out near the front desk, and Dimebag shows up at the hotel, and he's complaining about the room. He's like, you call this a fucking penthouse? That hotel room is bullshit. That's bullshit. You gotta get us a better hotel room. They're slamming their hands on the desk.
Can I just say, I gotta commend the front desk person at the hotel.
Yeah.
Just was like, sure, no problem. Switched it up. Didn't lose her cool. Didn't get all panicky. I thought it was going to be like that, like frantic, like, oh my God, okay. I'm sorry, Mr. Dimebag and all that. Nope. Yeah. She did it. She just.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure, Mr. Bag. We'll get you a room switch. No problem. Yeah. Sorry for the inconvenience.
Wow. Like, this person has just been through it all. Just like, I got it. No problem.
So this is a nitpick that I had.
Mm-hmm.
So they're like, all right, we're going to switch the room. And Dimebag's like, cool, thank you. Then Veronica takes off her coat, grabs like a clipboard, and she's like, and I'm the concierge. I'll show you to the room or whatever.
She says hospitality hostess.
Yeah. And then the front desk lady looks at her, says nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And then Veronica just takes Dimebag and his posse to the room. I was like, does this front desk lady not know who works here?
I think at that point she's like, I don't care. I let
Sure, yeah. Must be the new girl.
I do love that they don't have any bags, too.
They don't have any bags, and they don't go to the old room, which Keith is in, because Veronica's freaking out like, oh no, Dimebag's gonna
How long is it going to take Keith to bug this room? Also, if they walked in on Keith in that room, isn't he dressed like a maintenance person? So it'd be fine. I don't think they're going to walk into that room like, hey, you're a private detective bugging the room. They're going to be like, get out of here, guy.
Who's this bald guy?
I know Keith will put on some like foreign accent too, like some Eastern European accent and leave.
Hello, Mr. Bag.
You may have to jiggle the handle.
Yeah. But when she's like freaking out about that, I was like, why would that matter? Number one, how long does it take? Number two, don't they have to go to their original room to get their stuff to put it into the new room anyway?
No, they go in the elevator and it's that like meme from that porn where that lady's sitting on the
yeah. It's like four black dudes towering over Veronica. She's so holding short. A clipboard.
She's so short.
She's so small, dude.
Yeah.
But yeah, Veronica goes, she shows them around the room. Then she bugs the room herself, returns to the car, and Keith is there already. And he's like, where the fuck were you? I told you not to leave the car. And she's like, I had to go take a shit. And he's like, oh, okay. So Keith pulls up his bug and he's like, oh, I don't know what's going on. Something's not working. Veronica's like, no, here, try this. Clickety, click, click, click. And then she puts on the bug that she installed in their room. And they overhear Dimebag and his crew talking about how hot Veronica is and how much they want to fuck her and all this shit.
The look that Keith gives when Veronica switches over and he finds out that she like went into the room and bug, like she did a job that helps out. He is so upset with her. And I'm like, this is fine. This is fine. She got the bug in the right room. Like, what are you?
Yeah, you would have been shit out of luck.
Yeah.
And he just looks over at Veronica. You weren't pooping.
Did you notice they were like, it's called Sonic Snoop? Is the site?
I did not notice that. That's awful.
What was the other one? Private Eyes with a Z.
Private Eyes with a Z.
These are professionals. The internet in 2004, man.
Sonic Snoop. They're sticking to the rap theme. That's probably a strain of weed that Snoop Dogg sells at this point.
Maybe, yeah.
Sonic Snoop, I could see it.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we go back to Logan and Aaron Eccles. They're getting dressed up to go to Lynn's funeral. And Aaron's lecturing Logan about, like, I know that you blame me for your mom's death, but I think you and we need to be a team. We need to work together through all of this. Like, we gotta stick together. And Logan sarcastically, like, getting ready, he's tying his tie sarcastically. He puts on sunglasses sarcastically. He gives him, like, kind of a snap and finger guns. He's like, yep, we're a team. And I was like, what's happening?
That would be my physical unquote, is how Logan puts on his sunglasses and gives a peace sign or something.
Yeah. Yeah, he gives it like a loop-de-loop peace sign or two.
I was like, oh, boy.
Yeah, it was awful.
Mm-hmm.
But they go outside, and there's a paparazzi in their bushes. And Logan grabs him, and he's beating him up, and he slams his camera on the ground. He throws him to like the front gate in front of a bunch of other paparazzi. Mm-hmm. And Logan's yelling at the paparazzi. He's like, oh, what you guys give us some peace. And then Aaron's like, Logan, stop beating up the paparazzi. You can't do this. I thought we were a team. Then Logan starts yelling at Aaron. He's like, you're the reason mom's gone. Because you were cheating on her. I don't blame anybody else but you. You're a piece of shit. And then he goes back to the house. Aaron looks at all the paparazzi and is like, well, there you go. You all happy? You got a fucking show? And then the original paparazzi guy gets up and goes, who's going to pay for my camera? And Aaron goes, I'll write you a check after I'm done burying my wife.
It's the fact that the scene doesn't end when Logan walks off is strange. Mm-hmm. Because we don't need the Aaron bit with the camera and I'm burying my wife. Like, we don't need to feel anything for Aaron.
No.
Or the paparazzi at this point. Like, are we supposed to feel sympathy for Aaron now because the paparazzi is being a dick while he's trying to bury his wife that he philandered
it's also like, are we supposed to feel sympathy for the paparazzi guy too? Yeah, like trespassing.
Yeah, just cut that part out. It's all about Logan here. And once Logan walks off, the scene's over.
Who's gonna pay for my camera? That's $1,000 camera.
Or just cut it there. Right? Because that's just silly.
Just have Aaron give him a mean look and walk away.
He should just pick it up and throw it over the fence.
Yeah,
you're not paying for that. You're not paying for that camera. He came over your fence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whatever. So we then go to the school, and Bryce is doing some kind of crazy science experiment with sand or something.
Soil erosion independent study.
Urban sand or whatever he says. And Veronica shows up. She's like, you're supposed to be in PE class. He's like, I got that shit switched because I don't like PE. I'm a nerd.
Independent study in high school. I didn't even know that was a thing.
In Neptune it is.
Telling you, man, you were talking about private school. This is a private public school. Like independent study. Like he can get out of PE and just work on his own project in that lab. That lab was, he had a whole lab to himself.
I had an independent study, but like we had to stay in a classroom and like do homework and shit.
But I'm saying like you aren't like working on like it was like you working on homework, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's like working on like his own project. Like his own class was like his own project, which is, I don't know. Write in. Let us know on Discord if you had independent study.
But Veronica comes in. She's like, hey, Bryce, I'm Veronica. He's like, I remember you. You were mean to me. You were mean to me. You were friends with Yolanda. And she's like, oh, yeah. And then Bryce thinks that somebody kidnapped Yolanda. And he wants to know why Bone won't call the police. And he's pissed at Bone for not thinking that he's cool. He's talking about like, yeah, my dad, he's in and out of jail. But I'm a piece of shit because I've won the state science fair 2 years in a row. How come he's not proud of me? I'm a fucking loser, apparently. But my dad's in and out of jail. That doesn't make sense. Make it make sense, Veronica. And Veronica, Bryce is also like, so why aren't you and Yolanda friends anymore? And we get another flashback.
Mm-hmm.
We get a flashback to Yolanda at the party that Logan invited her to. And it's Logan, Duncan, Veronica, and Yolanda. They're all hanging out.
Playing quarters.
Like, yeah. And Veronica's like, yeah, I'm going to go home too. And Duncan leaves. They're all saying goodbye. And Veronica's leaving. And she goes, oh, I forgot my purse. She goes back and she sees Logan.
That purse she's always carrying.
Right. And she comes back and Logan and Yolanda are kissing. And then rats Yolanda out to Lilly. And Lily's like, well, Yolanda's dead to me now. I don't even know who that person is anymore.
Yeah. I did like at the party, they were playing that Cameron Hey Ma song. And then there's a line
there's good music in this.
And then there's that line like Veronica says, Lily's sick, not dead, which I thought was going to be like a bigger thing in this episode.
I mean, they had that song earlier when Veronica's going into the elevator with Dimebag and his posse. They're playing Ozo Motley Saturday night, and that song fucking rules. Good music in this show, dude.
It's a musical show. It's a musical show.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that flashback was... I mean, it's so... I mean, you know what's going to happen, like, right while it's starting.
Mm-hmm.
They were really making out, though. They were really going at it.
Were they, though?
From what I saw.
From what I saw, too.
Yeah.
Not from what I'm told later on, but from what I saw, they were smooching.
There's some low flame gaslighting going on later on.
Yeah.
But yeah, Lily's just like, who's Yolanda?
Who's Yolanda? I already forgot about her. Fuck her. She's dead to me.
So funny that she was in Mean Girls as not the mean girl.
Right? Because she is Regina Georgian like a motherfucker in this show.
Yeah.
So we then go to Keith talking to Bone about his lead on the case, and he thinks that Bone needs to call up Dimebag. They need to make amends and figure out where Yolanda is.
He doesn't want him to make amends necessarily, because earlier scene, after they listen in, right before, like, I think a commercial break or a scene change, Keith goes, what are we going to do? We're going to make Bone beg. And I was like, what the hell does that mean? Yeah. And then that's what he wants him to do here, so they can, like, get a reaction.
He's like, come on, dude, it's your daughter. You're going to have to fucking just beg these guys if you want to see her again. So they call up Dimebag, and Dimebag's like, yeah, man, you dangled me out a window. You're a real piece of shit. If you want to know where your daughter is, you're going to have to beg. And so Bone starts kind of vaguely begging. He's like, please, man, this is my daughter. Please, please, come on, man. I'm begging. It was funny because, like, he's like, please, man, this is my daughter. And Dimebag's like, I want to hear you beg. And then Bone goes, I'm begging. And Dimebag's like, that's more like it.
Yeah. This is the scene where I was like, I'm not buying Anthony Anderson as the Suge Knight, I dangled a guy off of a balcony person. Because even when he first calls, like, I thought it was going to be that thing where he begs and then gets angry after the fact. Like, you know, that, like, yeah, I'm trying to play nice, but now I'm after, you know, like, I thought it was going to be like a turn somewhere. And no. He
begs. And then Dimebag's like, good, I wanted to hear you beg. Truth is, I don't know anything about where this Yolanda is. But it was nice to hear you beg, and you're a little bitch. And they hang up, and Bone's like, and then Keith's like, oh, don't freak out. Don't freak out.
Don't freak out. My daughter planted a bug in there. They called her scrawny, and she didn't like that, but she planted a bug, and I looked at Veronica and was like, why did you do this? But the whole plan is hinging on this thing. Yep. The whole plan is hinging on everything that Veronica did.
Let me pull up my my program, Sonic Snoops, and they start listening in on Dimebag's conversation, and Dimebag is being like, yeah, that guy, I made him beg. That was funny. I don't know anything about where that Yolanda chick is, but she's fucking hot, and I would want to bang her. And then Bone, like, slams the laptop shut. Bryce is overhearing all of this, too, in the background. And then Bone looks at Bryce. He's like, what the fuck are you looking at? You fucking nerd.
Yeah. And meanwhile, the mom in the scene gets no line.
Yeah.
She's
just looking around like one arm across her chest, the other hand like on her chin.
Yeah.
Like kind of like
no, just not a chance that like a mom worried about her daughter gets no lines, no exchange, no. Yeah.
Yep.
All right.
But we get that fucking Urkel ass son getting bullied.
Yeah. That's the only time that Bone gets intimidating is when he sees his son. It's no way this character dangled Dimebag off the balcony.
Yeah. So anyway, we then have Wallace and Veronica looking through the valet stubs, and Veronica finds a stub of a guy named Benjamin Bloom who was at the club, and it turns out that is Sam Bloom's son, who we saw earlier, the one that gets in the wheelchair.
Yeah, it's just there would not be any info on him on the stub.
Yeah. But
yeah,
Veronica's like, we have a lead. And Wallace is like, hell yeah, I'm vaguely a part of this episode.
He's like, and I'm out. You would think an episode with Anthony Anderson and rap I would come in handy, but I bid you adieu. I'm gonna go on the shelf with Weevil and the rest of us. Hey, Wallace, have you ever bumped into Yolanda at school? No. She wasn't even friends with Georgia, the girl that I was in love with, who apparently transferred schools.
Yeah, they need a line with Veronica like, hey, how's it going with Georgia? Like, they need something. What the fuck? That was the crux of an entire episode, is that he was in love with this girl.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
At Sierra, discover great deals on top brand workout gear, like high-quality walking shoes, which might lead to another discovery.
40,000 steps, baby. Who's on top now, Karen?
You've taken the office step challenge a step too far. Don't worry, though. Sierra also has yoga gear. It might be a good place to find your zen. Discover top brands at unexpectedly low prices. Sierra, let's get moving.
24 chefs, 24 culinary showdowns for 24 hours straight. Which chef will outcook, outpace, outlast the competition?
No chef
Escapes the clock. Season premiere, 24 and 24, Last Chef Standing, Sunday, April 27th at 8. See it first on Food Network. Stream next day on Max.
So, we go to the Lynn Eccles funeral reception that's taking place at the Eccles house. And Logan's just very insincerely going up to people and shaking their hands and thank you. Thank you so much for being here. It means so much to the family that you're here. And then people are looking at him like, what the fuck?
This is where Logan does the finger guns.
Yes,
and
you're right.
This is my note goes, being a big old weirdo, has a lighter.
My note says, acting like a fucking ass, overzealous asshole.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So then we go outside and we see Aaron, and Aaron's standing by the pool, and Aaron's agent is talking to him like, hey, so how you feeling? Because the studio is kind of wondering when you're going to get back to work on the big Hollywood movies that you're in. You know, they can't really delay this anymore.
We want to close the deal. If you can't close it, they're going to go with someone else.
Yeah.
Does he not know about his wife sleeping with him? Because it feels like all the news is leaked.
Right?
And it's fine if he does know, and it's just like, fuck it, I'm still going to do the business thing. Like, fine.
I mean, that guy's probably cheating on his wife too. Like,
that guy's not cheating on this. That guy, like, from what we saw.
Are you serious? You think Harv is fucking being faithful?
Is this the same guy we saw in the the scene that Christmas Eccles one? Because
I'll
it
be
looks
honest
different.
with you, I don't remember. He does look different in my mind, but I also thought that what's his name? Clarence Weedman was a white guy, and he's obviously not. Apparently, he was not recast.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, but the way that he came in that scene in the Eccles Christmas party, when it seemed like he was just like for lack of a better word, a cuck, basically. He seemed like he was not like a guy that was like, he's like, oh, my only client. Like, so I could see him being cheated on and then being like, my only client's Aaron Eccles, so I still got to do this. I can't, I don't know what to do. But it seems like,
man, I feel like he's at least he's getting some sex workers.
I think if you're going to have an episode where we find out that Aaron Eccles is sleeping with his agent's wife, the next time we see the agent with Aaron Eccles, it can't not be like something that has to get mentioned.
Yeah.
Especially when the tabloids are leaking everything. Now, I'm not sure if this Harvey is the same one, but it seems like it would be, because how many agents does he have? I mean, I'm sure he has other management, but yeah. Huh?
What a choice to name him Harvey, too. What a choice.
Well, Harvey was more of a producer than an agent, so.
Fair enough.
And this is before this is when Hollywood knew, but it's before anyone seemed to act upon it.
So he's pressuring Aaron to get back to work. Then Logan comes back out and he's like, hey, man, like Logan's mad that they're doing business at the funeral reception, and Aaron's even like, yeah, man, this is a little low.
Yeah.
And then so
I love Logan being mad that they're doing this at the funeral reception while he's just being a ass and
fucking dickhead. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Logan's like, this is bullshit. Why are you doing business at the funeral? And Aaron's like, yeah, you know what? You're right. Why are we doing business at the funeral? Logan leaves, and then Harvey's like, so anyway, back to business. When are you going to get back to work?
Yeah.
And then this is where Aaron makes his big stand. He's like, you know what? I don't want you negotiating any deals for me anymore. And Harvey's like, are you firing me? And Aaron goes, no, I quit. I'm out of the business.
I don't know what we're doing here. It wasn't the business that got his wife killed. It was his wife didn't. I don't know what we're doing message wise here. Are we supposed to be like, good on you, Aaron Eccles, quitting?
Maybe he's gonna turn a new leaf and focus more on his family.
Oh, so he was abusive and attacking people because he was in Hollywood?
Yeah.
That's what it was? That's why he was belting his son?
Yeah, he saw it in a Grand Theft Auto video game. And
that's why he told his wife, if you divorce me, I'll take everything. You won't have a maid. You won't have a car. I was just reading the script. Like, I don't know what they
work in this town again.
I don't know what they want us to think about Aaron Eccles. Every scene ends with like a Logan reaction, and then there's this extra coda that has Aaron Eccles' reaction to it. And you're not going to get me on Aaron Eccles' side. I don't know if that's necessarily what they're trying to do, but I don't know what him saying he's going to quit the biz means. Mm-hmm. He honestly could have already quit the biz and it would not change the status of what I've seen.
Yeah, I mean, everything that we've seen of Aaron is that he's a piece of shit. Like, cheats on his wife, lies about it, threatens his wife, beats his son.
Yeah.
And now we're supposed to, like, he's turning over a new leaf, but...
You know who also was a star is Non-Abs was a movie star, and he also wasn't a terrible person.
Connor, he stood up against racism.
Yeah,
he was a good dude.
Decent
no abs,
dude,
but good dude.
Decent dude, right? So like, and he's in it. Like, I don't know what this like I quit the biz is supposed to be. Are we supposed to be like, yay? I don't know.
Yeah.
I didn't know how to feel in this moment. I didn't know what we were getting out of it.
They're making it seem like the business was like poisoning Aaron's mind.
Yeah.
Or something. But like
you being famous and fucking around and being an abusive psycho. That's what
the thing is, like, you could argue that the business gave him access to like cheating and all this shit.
Yeah.
But he was still a abusive dad, and I don't think the business gave him access to that. Like, you know what I mean?
He could have been an absentee dad, and that probably would have been mentally damaging again still, but like, yeah. If he was just philandering and not like awful after that, I don't know. If you're that rich, just make sure you have an open marriage and,
or don't ever get married.
Or have an open marriage.
George Clooney.
If you want to, George Clooney got married.
He's
what are you talking about?
He got married like
he's been married a long time.
He got married late into his.
He's been married like 10 years at this point now, though.
Yeah, but 10 years ago, he was like 55.
Well, you can't say don't get married and then your example was a guy who got married.
Have a good run.
Like, there's so many other people you could be like, you could have said Leo, you could have said anybody else,
Oh, yeah, Leonardo DiCaprio's not married. Yeah, there we go. Leo DiCaprio.
I'm just saying you just pick the married person out of your example.
I mean, he's probably going to get married soon in his 60s or whatever, because it's over. They're hanging up his jersey in the rafters.
Yes, his 25-year-old wife will be happy.
Yeah. I'll probably cheat on her, too.
I feel like sometimes with the athletes and with the celebrities, it's like some of them have open. I feel like the issue is when you get caught and it becomes a public thing, and you have to deal with the like backlash of that.
Well, I think that Shannon Sharp and Chad Ochocinco, they talk about that a lot, about how like, basically everybody's like cheating on their wife, but like you don't fuck one of your teammates' wives or some shit. They had a lot of stories about that kind of shit on their podcast.
that nightcap is
it's wild, dude.
Yeah.
If you want to hear some wild sports stories, like behind the scenes shit, Nightcap with Shay and Ocho.
It is crazy that they can do that show and then he can come on to like First Take.
Yeah, Disney owned ESPN. Posted an Instagram live of him having sex. Yeah. Well, because they had Gilbert Arenas on too, and they were saying that like the NBA players are even worse than the NFL. Like
they travel
the
more,
like crazy.
Well, they're on the road more.
Yeah.
But it has to be like, I feel like depending on the person, because I'm sure there are some NBA players that are married that don't cheat, because not everyone is like that, But
yeah, sure.
But some of the wives know, and it's just like don't bring it home, don't make it all public, don't be like in a club being filmed getting
it was fondled. Like the Clippers owner or whatever. Remember when that guy got caught her and he called the girl and it was like, you're making me look bad?
I don't think that's the same. I mean, that's a whole different level.
Yeah, I mean, that was a whole other thing, but his whole ethos was like, don't bring him around and be public about it.
No, but he's being I mean, that was more racially.
He was being racist.
Your examples are going the opposite way.
No, but I'm saying he called her and was like, you can do whatever you want, but don't do it publicly.
I'm making a...
The racism was a separate issue.
You're like, but he had it right, though.
No, he had that right. That's what I'm saying.
But I'm saying there's so many other examples where you don't have to put Donald Sterling in it.
Name one other example.
I'm going to say Bill Clinton and Hillary Clinton. I think Hillary knew. I'm going to say Hillary knew.
You think Hillary knew?
Hillary knew Bill was sleeping around.
I mean, that's not confirmed. I'm saying the Clippers owner is confirmed.
But it's just I was going athletes and you went to owner. That's all.
He's in the athletes realm?
He's not in the athletes realm. I mean, you know what? Really... Steve Smith, maybe. I don't know.
Steve Smith Sr., yes. There's some... This is a conversation for like 3 of our listeners, maybe. Oof. Wow. Really, just a lot of people tuned out. Anyway, so the next scene is Logan playing video games in his room, and Duncan shows up and he's like, what are you doing, man? It's your mom's funeral reception. How come you're playing video games? And Logan's like, this isn't a reception for my mom. This is more for my dad. And he's just living in the lap of luxury and getting all this attention. And Duncan's like, man, I'm worried about you.
I really thought Duncan was going to bring more of a, hey, my sister was murdered. I have been through this. I thought he was going to kind of, relate it to himself somehow, but no, that's not what this point of the scene is.
No, he's like, hey, I'm worried about you. And Logan's like,
I'm worried. You've been through a traumatic thing. I don't know why you're acting different.
So Logan shows Duncan the lighter that he's been carrying around, and it's his grandfather's lighter from the Korean War. And his mom carried it around with her everywhere. And on the night that she went missing, she left it on her dresser because that was kind of like her notice or what, her suicide note maybe or whatever. Because on the lighter, it's engraved "Free at Last." And Logan surmises that his mom is not dead. She's just escaped because she hated the life that she was living with Aaron and him, presumably, and the Hollywood lifestyle and getting cheated on. And now she's finally free, and he's kind of happy for her.
If true, it really sucks that she abandoned him with abusive Aaron Eccles.
Mm-hmm.
That is the thing.
She knows.
Yeah.
She knows.
So she's like, I'm out. Good luck, Logan. Now you have less of a buffer. And like you brought up last episode, it would be nice if we had like a scene or two with
I don't know their relationship.
I don't know their relationship at all.
Yo, moms in Neptune be going missing.
They will abandon their child. A lot of single dads in Neptune.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we talked about this last episode, like at the end of last episode, how it would work if she wasn't dead, if she didn't kill herself. 'Cause I thought if she killed herself, it's very abrupt. But then if she left, I don't know.
Maybe Logan was getting pictures mailed to him with crosshairs over his face.
That's how Veronica you want to play that game, Veronica with Weedman? I'll get another lady to leave. I'm gonna get all the moms to leave. All your friends' moms are leaving. Wallace is gonna be like, my mom left.
Clarence Weaver's just fucking all their moms off screen.
Just what? Yeah, but like you can't leave Logan with abusive Aaron.
So now that Logan is so confident that his mom is alive, I think she's dead and it's going to break him. Because they do say that a body was never found.
Mm-hmm.
He says that to Duncan here. He's like, a body was never found, so my mom is definitely not dead. She's just escaped.
I love the idea that she parked that car, walked across that bridge. No one in this place saw her, and she somehow had planned how to escape with, like, she's not spending any credit cards, no cash. Like, how is this a good escape? Faking your death is not the way to get it. I don't think Aaron Eccles is abusive. I don't know the level of, like, if you were to divorce him, would he be trying to kill you and you need to disappear?
Well, also Aaron Eccles is famous.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like people would, at least in Neptune, recognize his wife, like the wife of a famous person, especially with all this tabloid scandal. Like, she's on the front page of all of these scandal pages.
And this has to be nationwide news, not local.
Yeah. So, like,
no, she put on sunglasses and a scarf, and she's like walking around.
Yeah, a labelless black baseball hat.
Yeah. Like, if you want to pretend to be a celebrity, put that outfit on and walk around. People are like, that's a famous person trying to go undercover.
Yeah. So I don't buy that. Now I think she's dead.
I don't even. Here's the thing. I'm not trying to be insensitive. I just don't care because I don't know what they're going for. You know what I mean? Like,
I mean, they just showed so little of their relationship that it's like, she like allowed Aaron to abuse him. She's just drinking her whiskey. And then like the only other thing that we know about her is that she got cheated on.
I think it's more interesting if she's around.
Yeah. I mean, she did hire the PIs to sniff out that Aaron was, or she sold the tabloids information about Aaron cheating.
Here's my thing. If she actually escaped, right? If she like faking her death, she came up with that idea after like getting ready to go to a family meeting like at the school.
Yeah, and she popped a bunch of pills.
And she hasn't, like, the only thing that he has that says she's still alive is that she left a lighter that she always had in her purse, which is random information, just whatever. But she didn't take any clothes. What money is she having? Like, she can't use credit cards because that's traceable. And it's not even like, I don't know if he was abusive towards her also physically. Like, yeah. If for someone to fake their death, it means like I need to get out of his, like he will track me down. He will keep me. It didn't seem like that. It seemed like he was going to like hurt her and not give her the money, which he would have got because, I mean, it's a public infidelity case. But
yeah, they would have at the very least settled out of court.
Yes. And
like for a
he would have
large
had
sum
to.
of money.
Yeah. His agents and lawyers would have been like, you settle this. But then I think she could have moved away after that. Like, I don't.
Again, she would have got her own reality show, Real Ex-Wives of Neptune.
Yeah. Or she leaves Neptune and just goes anywhere else with the money that she has and take Logan with you. And Logan doesn't want to be there.
Write a book.
Or Logan can stay with his dad or buy Logan a little apartment house or whatever. And he can just go finish out high school there.
Yeah.
He's a year and a half away from college, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah. No, well.
I don't know. Why does he want to stay in Neptune? Because he's cool with Duncan and his girlfriend was murdered there. I'm like, get the hell out of Neptune, man.
Yeah. Go somewhere else.
Yeah.
Go live that high life like fucking Ryan Phillippe in New York.
You know what? Go to LA.
Intentions.
Just go to LA. Go to Beverly Hills. Just do it. You're going to have the same level of affluency.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. I mean, we also saw like last episode or 2 episodes ago, like everyone's bullying him now for his dad cheating.
Yeah.
So it's not like he's even cool anymore.
Yeah. Man, you were right, man. These moms are just abandoning kids.
Yeah, dude.
or they swap kids and then they regret that they swapped kids. and then stalk them.
Do the glass
Dude,
touch through the window thing.
You can't do that, man. You can't do that.
Okay, we gotta get back on track. Logan thinks that his mom is not dead. She just escaped.
Mm-hmm.
So we go back to Sam Bloom. Keith is questioning him about his son being at the hip hop club that night that Yolanda went missing. And Sam's like, I don't know anything about that. And Keith's like, well, where is Benjamin? And Sam's like, he's at USC. And then Keith's like, all right, what dorm room? He's like, well, he's not at USC right now. He's actually in Mexico. He's doing hiking and he can't be reached. And Keith's on his way out, gives him a like, okay, sure, buddy. I liked Keith's face in this scene because Keith gives him a face of like, you know, I'm going to find where your son is, right?
There's a Keith face later that I have to bring up.
Okay.
But I do have to bring up here is that now in this next scene, Keith wants Veronica's help.
Yep.
What the fuck, man? What the fuck? It's like, I don't want you a part of this. I don't want you a part of this. Hey, Veronica, need you. You're a key part of this.
Yep. So he asked Veronica at Mars Investigations. She's like, he's telling Veronica, hey, the Sam Bloom's acting real squirrely. How good is your sorority girl voice? Because I need you to call Ben Bloom's dorm room and ask where he is, because I don't think he's actually in Mexico. So Veronica calls. They find out that Ben actually is not in Mexico. He is in Vegas. And the roommate's like, I don't know exactly where, but I found this hotel confirmation number on his desk for last week.
Yeah. The convenience of that line of some strange girl calls. She kind of alludes to having crabs. And he's like, I don't know, but he left this confirmation code on his desk.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Like, we're like a little before like things were all email, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, and everyone, telling strangers that they don't know that are Veronica all the information.
Yep.
Like, that is wild.
So Veronica tells this to Keith. Keith calls his Vegas contact, his counterpart in Vegas, asks him to find Benjamin Bloom, has his license plate number, has his hotel confirmation number. Here's what I didn't get is like, they have a confirmation number, and then Keith calls his guy and he's like, he might be in one of the hotels. Like, wouldn't the confirmation number let you know what hotel he's in? And
why add the confirmation number instead of like, oh yeah, he mentioned something about going to Vegas.
Yeah.
Or staying at a hotel in Vegas. Like, why didn't they just say that instead of like, we have the confirmation number?
Yeah, I don't know.
That seems so specific and not like a college student would say that. Because I'm just thinking of like, like what?
Yeah.
Oh no, Ben's not here, but there is a confirmation number of a hotel on it. What hotel? Like, she doesn't follow up to be like, what hotel? It's just like,
no.
I don't even know what a hotel confirmation number would like look like versus another number.
Dude.
Like, you would have to be checking in a lot of hotels as a college student to be like, oh yeah, that's not like some other code. That's not a password to something. That's his hotel confirmation number. Wouldn't it have the hotel written? I don't know.
Yeah, if you're like printing out a confirmation number, it definitely would have the hotel, like the dates that you were planning on going, etc. So after he hangs up with his Las Vegas contact, Keith goes to Veronica like, hey, why are you working so hard on this case? It's like, bro, you just asked me to work on this case.
Yo, Keith, I want to hit him every time. He's like, get away from the case, Veronica. Hey, Veronica, I need you to sneak into these air ducts and try to listen in. Like,
you're small, right?
Yeah.
So he's like, this case must mean a lot to you. Why are you working so hard? Then Veronica stares off into the distance and she has another flashback where Yolanda is trying to ask Veronica to talk to Logan, and Yolanda's like, hey, dude, like, I know that you ratted me out or whatever, but like, I'm telling you, I didn't kiss Logan. Logan kissed me. Nothing else happened. And Veronica's like, I don't know. I heard rumors that you like went all the way. And she's like, no, we just kissed. And he kissed me. You believe me, right? And then meanwhile, Lilly's in the background. They're trying to go to Fleetwick, and she's like honking the horn.
Who's in the back seat of the car? There's another friend.
Some other blonde. Who knows? But she's like, come on, Veronica. Are you in or are you out? And Veronica's like, oh, I'm pulled between being a good person and going to Fleetwick and being an 09er. And so basically, Veronica abandons Yolanda, and she's like, I don't know who you are, and maybe that's your problem or whatever. So she's going to Fleetwick with Lilly and the other blondes.
She says, you should have known better. And then turns away and is like, oh, how could I do this to a new person at school? She's gonna struggle. Oh God, what did I do? I'm officially an 09er. Oh my God. Lily's my friend, but I don't even know if I like Lilly. And is Lilly her friend because of Duncan or Duncan because of Lilly? What's the order of that?
I think they were best friends, and then she sparked up a romance with Duncan. But also, like, Yolanda's the daughter of a famous multi-millionaire. She's gonna be fun.
I mean, but
she's gonna have friends.
But it's in this school, and like her dad is like this in jail like rap. Like she would be intriguing. Like it would be like everyone would know who she is. Like it's the same way they should know who Logan is and Duncan. Yeah. Like she would be like that.
Fair enough.
Lilly just has this like power over the school.
She had to be taken out, man. That's why.
I honestly just want a scene where Lilly is like likable,
a good person.
Just like I need to see. Again, it's always tricky when we're talking like female friendships, but I want to see a little more than Lilly being like, "Hey, you should wear this."
I mean, it's consistent because remember when we saw the memorial. we saw the memorial of her in like the videos from Veronica, and all of them were like, "You love me, I'm Lilly, I'm the best." And then in this episode, she's like, "We're the best."
Yeah, but the memorial videos were basically from that one night because, it's a TV show, so they don't have they didn't take the extra time to film a bunch of like random scenes, but it was just like that one night of videoing. So
yeah, she's
her getting drunk on
the back of the limo,
her getting drunk at homecoming, that's whatever. But yeah, it is consistent. I will say it is consistent. I just am intrigued by the friendship that she has to Veronica. Veronica seems like even within this friendship that she already doesn't like she doesn't agree with most of what Lilly does already before like the change later.
Yeah. 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 So anyway, we go to Bone, and Bone shows up to Keith's office, and he's got a ransom note. The ransom note says they want $500,000 if he wants to ever see Yolanda again. And Keith looks at this ransom note and he's like, whoever wrote this ransom note is a fucking amateur. I mean, he gave the time and the place and everything. Like, this guy, he doesn't know what he's doing. And Bone's like, I think it's Dimebag because Dimebag's a dumb piece of shit. And so then Bone says some shit like, if I don't get my daughter back, somebody's gonna die. And then Keith's looking at him like, oh boy, I hope it's not me.
Keith's face during the scene is hilarious because it's not comforting or instilling confidence. It's just like this weird stare at Bone, and it like lingers on his face. And I don't know what Keith is giving. I just don't know. I don't know what's going through his head.
Yeah. I think the best Keith face so far was like when they were talking about hating the police. Keith gave him a little smirk. Like this one, it was just like,
this was so like weird to me.
Bone is vaguely threatening Keith, it seems like.
I don't think
Keith's
he's
just kind of
Keith.
looking at him.
I don't think he's threatening Keith in the scene.
If I don't get my daughter back, somebody's going to die.
I think he's threatening is that the exact line that he said?
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, I don't think he's threatening Keith here. But
who's he threatening? Who's going to die? Dimebag?
Yeah.
Well, why would he bother?
Why would he threaten Keith?
Because Keith's in charge of finding his daughter.
Yeah.
All right.
That doesn't track with what happens later.
Okay. You're right.
Yeah.
Nothing really tracks about this guy, though. So we then have Bone putting money into a briefcase. There's a GPS tracker in there, too, that Keith has installed. And Keith, he's like, hey, man, I'm going to say this one more time. I think we should call the police. I think we got to get the police involved here.
I don't buy this at all from Keith.
Yeah.
You know who the police are. You know who the sheriff is.
They're probably going to arrest Bone.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, you did it.
They're going to take one look at Bone and be like, yep, cuff him.
Yeah.
So Bone is like, I'm not involved in the police. Why would I call the police when I got my own crew? And a bunch of goons show up behind him.
Again, makes you question why he went to Keith the first time.
Right?
This guy's the Suge Knight, the shakedown guy. And instead of like actually going out and like busting heads and getting his guys to ask questions, he's like, hey, disgraced private detective, can you help?
Did you like that all of his goons are dressed exactly like him with their black turtlenecks and long leather trench coats?
Yeah. Real conspicuous on the street.
Yeah, they're in their Angel era. Yeah. They're all dressed like Angel.
But Keith's like, whoa, I can't do this. Keith's like, whoa, I'm out.
There's one too many black people. I'm out.
He's like, I know what you guys are going to do. And I'm like, I will shoot a guy through a window if I see him about it. Like, I will break the law. I will do anything, but I won't do what you guys are about to do.
But I won't do that. You know that Keith is out. He's not a part of this because he's got his khaki trench coat on.
He won't play. It's just going to clash and it won't look cool.
Yeah, it's not gonna match with the leather trench coats.
And then they leave, and like Bone is like, "Oh, I got here's your checks in the mail," you know.
Yeah.
And then, how much do you think they're paying Keith?
At least his daily rate.
Plus expenses?
I don't know. Is he going to be able to afford some hot water? Can they get some new digs finally?
Can he go to a fantasy baseball camp?
Ooh, Padres? Fantasy camp?
But when they leave, Keith gives the wife a look. And it's just... They just linger on his face. A lot of these scenes end with like lingering on Keith's face. It's like this little like kind of comforting look that he gives the wife who still can't get lines. She has no say. She does not chime in during that scene. Like, hey, Bone, like this is not the way to go about it or anything. Like she is.
There is a point
something
where she calls him Percy.
Yeah,
because I remember that was supposed to be like poignant. I think it's when he slams the phone.
Isn't that later?
It might be.
I think it might be
I just
later.
remember her calling him Percy, and it was supposed to be like, oh, this is the man behind the rough exterior of Bone.
I don't know. I know she does call him that, but I think it is the later scene, but I could be wrong. But like, she does not like have the agency of like, hey, how do you want to go about getting your daughter back?
Yeah. So Bone goes off with his goons. They're going to drop off the money and get his daughter back, hopefully. Keith and Veronica, they go to meet at the rendezvous spot, and Veronica's like, what are we doing? I thought you were off the case. And Keith's like, yeah, but anyway, this is a horrible meetup spot.
And I'm glad I took Veronica with me because I know there might be a massive shootout, but let me put my high school daughter in the...
Let me like crouch under this umbrella with her because it's pouring rain too.
Yes.
So Veronica is looking around. She's like, yeah, this is a terrible rendezvous spot. She sees a sewer. She sees some stairs. I was like, what is she looking for?
This is TV nonsense for me, but yeah.
But then they're following the GPS tracker, and Bone shows up, and Bone gets a phone call, and he's like, he calls the person that he's supposed to call, and he's like, hey, I'm at the rendezvous point. And the person on the other side of the phone is like, reach into this trash can at the corner of the street and put that $250,000 ring into the football and throw it into the drain, and otherwise the taxi won't move or something. So Bone does it, and then the taxi starts moving, and Bone's like, wait, Yolanda's in that taxi. Him and all of his goons, they pull out their guns, they run up to the taxi. The taxi has nothing to do with this. Yolanda's not there.
Did you mention that earlier Veronica had a bunch of rubber duckies? Because that's key.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, no,
she spots something, and then they buy a bunch of rubber duckies, and they get in the car. And Keith's like, I hope this works. And she's just like, keep an eye on that tracker.
You better put all of those in a row.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So they all pull their guns on this taxi guy, and Yolanda's not there. And they're like, where the fuck is Yolanda?
I like how the taxi driver's like, whoa. I definitely took some money for this. Because it's like one taxi on the road, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
But we figure out that Bryce is the one behind this all, because the storm drain, he's standing by the end of the storm drain. The football with the ring pops out along with all the rubber duckies that Veronica threw down there. And Veronica and
Bryce
Keith
doesn't react to all the rubber duckies that are on the ground right there.
Yeah. And so Veronica and Keith, they show up behind Bryce, and they're like, and Bryce is like, how'd you figure it out? And Veronica's like, oh, we figured that you were behind this because you're a nerd and good plan or whatever. And Bryce reveals that Yolanda was never kidnapped. She just ran off with somebody from the club, and Yolanda's fine. Nobody needs to worry about it. And then Keith gets a phone call from his Vegas contact, and he's like, oh, we found her.
Well, here's where my nitpicks come in with this whole plan. So Bryce, I guess, just knew it was going to rain that day.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why he scheduled that meet for when it did. Like, that's the only, I guess. That's just something. I guess he knew it was going to rain. Second, how did Veronica consider the storm drain as an option for the drop, especially since they had a briefcase full of money?
Yeah.
And a briefcase full of money would not have fit down that drain the way, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
She goes, he's like, oh, that's a terrible place to make a drop or whatever. And then she's just looking around, and the shots maybe the shots showed the storm drain. I don't remember if they did.
They definitely showed the storm drain.
But how does she know the storm drain was going to be where the drop was going to be, especially if the drop was supposed to be the suitcase? Because at this point, no way she knows it's going to be the ring.
Yeah.
No.
Well, also,
way.
like, maybe I'm, like, not thinking like a detective too here, but, like, how do the ducks play into this all?
Wait, you didn't get that?
Couldn't she have just, if she's suspecting the storm drain already, why does she need the ducks?
Because you don't know where the storm drain lets out.
But she did.
She put a tracker on it.
Oh, the tracker was on the duck, right? Yes,
yeah.
I forgot that the tracker.
Which brings up my third point. She solved something that the scientists in Jennifer's body were unable to solve. This was exactly the point I make. Check out Patreon. We reviewed Jennifer's body.
Yeah. Jennifer's body came out 4 years after this.
I don't understand how the scientists don't do it. They're throwing a ball down there. Put a tracker on it. This is what she did. She put a tracker on the rubber duckies so that she could see where the drain was going to come out. And that's what they're following. They're following the tracker on the ducks to get out to the storm drain. That's why they know where it's going to fall out. But she doesn't know anything about the football and the ring.
Yeah, there's no way that she could have known that.
And the suitcase would not have made it through, like the storm drain.
Yeah.
So I don't understand that leap in logic for me.
Yeah.
She's looking around. She's like, man, there is nothing out here. Huh. Maybe he's going to have her put it in a storm drain. It's like, that's such a skip.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. So that's my problem. And then they go, whoever did this is really smart or really dumb, and you're smart. And Bryce goes, so are you. And they just walk and talk like nothing's wrong.
They're real chipper.
Yeah. I was like,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
So they go back to Bone's house, and Bone is inconsolable. He's got his head in his hands. He's like, my daughter's still missing, and now I don't have my ring. And Keith, Veronica, and Bryce show back up, and Bryce is feeling himself. Bryce has got his hood up. He's in gangsta stance. He stands in front of Bone, and they reveal that, Bryce reveals, he's like, I'm the one that fooled you. I got your ring. He puts his ring on the table, and he's like, now you can't say I'm soft because I tricked you. And Bone's looking at him like, this motherfucker. He tricked me. And then Keith shows them where Yolanda is. They have a Skype set up, and but they make it seem a lot more private detective-y.
This is my dated quote, which would be, she's on here. The pinhole at the top of the screen is a camera. He has to tell him that. Yeah. But then later we see another computer that has an actual webcam on it.
Yep.
So,
but they have a webcam conversation. Yolanda is with Ben Bloom, and they're in Vegas, and they are getting Elvis married, basically.
They got married, apparently.
Oh, they got married, yes. And she wants Bone and the Blooms to squash the beef because Bone didn't actually hire the hit on Sam Bloom. He just said that it was him, or let the rumors swirl that it was him to up his street cred.
Mm-hmm.
And Yolanda wants his blessing, and she won't come home until Bone gives them the blessing, and he won't give the blessing. And she's like, all right, fine. Well, I'm not coming home. And they hang up.
And then Veronica has a crazy look on her face reacting to this in shock.
Yeah.
So, again, here, the mom, no one wants her blessing. No one cares about how she feels about this situation.
She's not important.
How is she marrying Ben Bloom? How old is she? Is she still in high school?
Yeah, I think she's either 17 or she's
18?
probably 17.
She would have to
They're
at least
supposed to
be
be
18.
juniors.
Was she in the same grade as them?
Yeah, I think so.
Because again, here's my question. Lilly Kane and Duncan Kane can't be not likely that they're in the same grade.
Yeah. Unless they're twins.
Unless they're twins, which has not been established. They probably have 12 different parents, according to how this show works. Wait, Lilly Kane was my uncle? What?
It's Wallace saying that.
Yeah. But yeah, so like Lilly is a grade. I feel like Lily's in the same grade as Veronica, or she would be above. I
think Veronica's a junior.
She's a junior now, currently. Yeah.
Well, Duncan's a junior because he became a Triton.
Yes. So he's a junior too. So
Lilly would be like maybe a sophomore unless they're twins, which we don't know if they are.
Yeah. But if she's a sophomore, she's like really got some rank because she would have been a freshman the last year. Because the year when she dies, because they come back her junior year.
Yeah.
So, but it seems like, but they already went to homecoming. So it seems like she would have been already a sophomore. I don't know. I don't know. That's tricky. How old is Yolanda? And she's getting married.
Yolanda's either 16, 17, or 18.
And
18, I feel like we can get married. 17, I guess in some states.
How did she meet this? Because he goes to USC, this Benjamin Bloom guy. So where did she meet Benjamin Bloom? And how have they been dating long enough that they decided to get married?
You don't need to be dating for very long to decide to get married. We just saw 500 Days of Summer. They weren't dating very long before they decided to get married.
I got to say it was at least 100 days, maybe 3 months.
Couple months, yeah.
How was she dating this guy for 3 months if he's at USC and she's in high school? I don't know. This is like a leap that goes so wild. Another thing.
She probably knew him before because Sam Bloom was
when they were kids.
Lawyer. Yeah.
But when Bryce mentions that his dad's been in jail a ton, like what time frame was that? Like how long ago was this?
That I don't know.
And then here's the bigger question I thought about. If Bones didn't do the drive-by on Sam Bloom, who did? A drive-by is very pointed. He needs to find out who did the drive-by if it wasn't this guy.
Yeah.
That's a problem. You don't randomly, if you get hit by a random drive-by, that's something. But a targeted one? You got some enemies out there, man.
It's serious.
Yeah.
It's serious. The dude's in a wheelchair now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they want his blessing or else they're not coming home. How are they not?
She saved up her allowance.
Yeah. She's got to call her brother to send that $250,000 ring to her.
True. Maybe Sam is
I
doing
honestly
this as
thought,
a get back.
I honestly thought, what do you mean Sam's doing this as a get back?
Sam is funding their marriage. Maybe Sam knows about it. Sam Bloom.
I think Sam would be so against him marrying the daughter of a gangster that shot him, that he thinks shot him. And I thought Bryce was he knew she was gone and he was doing this to get money. I thought at one point she had faked her own kidnapping so that she can get money to do something.
Maybe they went to Mexico and had a piñata full of steroids and they got, a couple $1,000 and now they can just live on the.
I love the way the kids in this show think they can get one over on their parents. His reaction is, yeah, I faked my sister's kidnapping, put you guys through all the stress. But now you can't call me soft no more.
Yeah. I was like, Bone is gonna kill you, dude.
Yo, if the mom doesn't get up and slap the shit out of her son, like,
I mean, he may have not ordered the drive-by, but he did dangle Dimebag out of a window.
That's what I don't get. Like those two
like
things.
that's confirmed.
But those
Dimebag's like, you did that to me.
Yeah, those two things seem to contradict themselves. Like, it seems like he has been like a tough bad guy. Maybe he didn't do the drive-by, but I don't know.
Yeah.
You can't call me soft no more, Dad. He's like, I guess I can't. There's nothing harder than faking the kidnapping of your sister.
Well played, son.
Yes.
His son's got like a blue and white striped polo on with like an orange accent.
He's trying to be all tough. I do
hood up.
I do love it when people come from the hood or whatever, or like come from lesser circumstances, and then they get rich, and then they have the rich lifestyle, and then they're like, God, my kid is not like me. And it's like, yeah, no shit. Yeah. You didn't want your kid to grow up like you did, but then they get mad that the kid's not like them. I'm like, yeah, that's the whole point.
Fucking Urkel, son.
Fucking Urkel.
Doing science and shit.
I want him to go to jail for dangling a guy out of a window.
Yeah, that's nuts, man. So yeah, then Veronica does a little Skype, does a little Zoom, does a little Google Meet with Yolanda, and she apologizes for not being a good friend and sticking up for her all those moons ago. And Yolanda's like, yeah, that's cool.
I hate it. I know this is short, but I hated this little wrap up, especially Yolanda says, I forgive you. I probably would have done the same thing.
Yeah.
All right, Veronica, that's a weight off your chest. Never have to worry about that again.
Also, hold on. Going back to the previous scene a little bit, Benjamin Bloom in the background of this whole conversation.
He has no lines. He has no lines. And he has like this
and
look
he's just
of
like giving he's giving like the Riz face to camera, and he's like vaguely like holding on to Yolanda like, I'm fucking your daughter, bro.
He is like trying to act as much as he can without having a chance to say anything. Like he's trying so hard. Like he's doing a lot. He's doing a lot.
Yeah. But I forgot to mention, I needed to talk about that because he's like he is hamming it up in the background.
A lot of head nods and smiles and lookovers. Like he wants you to see him. He is stealing focus.
So anyway, yes, Yolanda and Veronica make amends. And then Veronica gets a knock at her door. And who is it? It's Logan. He shows up and he's like, I want you to find my mom. And I was like, oh boy, here we go.
And he's got this like pouty face.
Yep.
I'm just like, there's a lot going on. And I'm like, I don't need another mom search. You already are trying to find your own mom.
No, she gave up on that like 5 episodes ago. She gave up on figuring out who her dad was. She gave up on finding her mom.
She said
Clarence Weedman's just like vaguely in the background.
Yeah,
now.
she sent him threatening pictures, and then she was like, all right, that's fine.
Yeah.
What? It's just too much.
Now we got to find Lynn Eccles.
And here's the thing. If Lynn Eccles is not on the West Coast, it's over. like that's it. She's in high school. She's not going to New York.
Yeah.
Of course, I bet you Lynn Eccles is in San Diego.
Probably. She's probably hanging out with Veronica's mom.
Oh, yeah. And bet you Keith even knows about it.
Yeah. Yeah. They're having 3-ways with Jake Kane.
God. Oh, Keith and Lynn.
No. Veronica's mom and Aaron's and Logan's mom.
Oh my God, I forgot about. We haven't seen Jake Kane in a hot minute.
Really
Speaking of, who do you think is Lilly's killer?
Ooh, now I think it's Harv.
Harvey.
I think it's Harv.
If Lilly Kane was Aaron Eccles' daughter, then sure. Maybe it could be that secret Aaron Eccles. I don't know what we're gonna do with this.
Yeah,
sister.
The one that's in Sydney. She's an actress now too,
or a model. Or a model. She was on.
She's on set. Stop. She's on set. Stop.
Yeah.
Everything's going well, stop. I send my regards, stop.
Yeah, man,
Boy,
that's
boy,
crazy.
Vance.
Oh, this Australian accent that she's going to have when she comes back, it's going to be amazing.
Oh, you think that Logan's going to go, stop talking like that?
She's going to be Crocodile Dundee. I think it was some random student that Jake Kane was having an affair with.
Ooh, okay.
I think Lilly made a lot of enemies at that school.
I think Lilly deserved it.
I'm not going that far. What if
the next episode? What were you about to say?
What if it was Veronica and Duncan that like they both did it together?
That'd be cool.
But Veronica was in her like little shorts and Ugg boots when this happened.
Yeah. Oh, Vance. Next episode is titled Mars versus Mars.
Keith has to keep the peace between the west side and east side of Mars when aliens invade.
Ooh. I think that Martians come down and they think that Keith is their master leader. Because of his gigantic head.
And the Mars investigations on the door.
Yeah, they're like, oh.
And obviously aliens, they have the same language as us. They speak English,
Yeah.
I think this is going to have something to do with, I'm going to say it has something to do with Veronica's mom.
I'm going to say it's Veronica confronting Keith about who her real dad is. And it's going to be a confrontation about like, you're not my real dad or you are my real dad, etc.
If that happens, I want Mac to be in the room. I want Logan to be in the room. I want Duncan to be in the room.
We need the whole cast involved in this.
I want that kid who just found out that his dad was in San Diego. I want him, the video store kid. I want him to be there.
Yep. Yeah, I think this is...
I want Wallace's brother to be there, but not Wallace.
This is going to be the episode where it's revealed who is Veronica's dad.
Wow.
That's what I'm predicting.
You think that's what we're picking up after I Need You to Find
Bro,
My Mom?
none of this fucking shit makes any sense.
I feel like they just keep stacking. I feel like they're just going to keep stacking. Right now, we got 2 missing moms. I feel like we got to add some more stuff. We need like 3 more murdered kids that we got to solve.
Oh my God, dude. I like the show. I going through this, I was like, I feel like people are probably like, getting that same feeling about.
Here's my biggest thing, though. How did she know about the storm drain? That is such a leap in logic. It wasn't even. It was a giant suitcase. There was no way you think he's going to drop that down the storm drain. No way.
Yeah. Fun show. Fun episode. I love seeing Anthony Anderson. Big fan. Fun times.
Yeah, we didn't talk about all the names of rappers and song titles that they threw out there.
Yeah.
I knew once I saw Lord of the Bling and Anthony Anderson, I was like, we're getting all of it.
Yep. So that's a wrap for Lord of the Bling, everybody. Thanks so much for listening. Hop on Discord. Let us know what you thought of the episode. Join our Patreon, patreon.com/Boys Watching Buffy. We're doing Boys Watching Dollhouse. 500 Days of Summer coming out very soon. That's the movie for this month. Amazon wishlist. If you want to get a shout out, no shout outs recently.
Yeah.
No shout outs. What's up with that?
Oh, and I wanted to mention that we think Veronica Mars is leaving Hulu in a couple days.
Is.
So
yeah, Veronica Mars is leaving Hulu in 12 days, according to my app.
So if you're on that Amazon wish list, you might see a Blu-ray of Veronica Mars up there.
You might see multiple Blu-rays of Veronica Mars up there. Because I don't know where it's going, if it is going somewhere else. And I'm fucking sick of this, dude.
You know what? You do it. Take down the streamers, Joe. Do it. Do it. Do it. Do it.
Physical media. That's why physical media is where it's at, dude.
We're not going to get more advanced than Blu-rays, though, it seems like.
It happened to us with Buffy, I think, twice.
Mm-hmm.
It happened with Dollhouse. And now it's happening with this. I think that it almost happened with Firefly, but we finished it before it was out or it was gone. Like, I'm fucking sick of it.
Yeah.
Physical media, everybody. They can't take my Dollhouse Blu-rays away from me, motherfuckers. They can't take them away from Vance. Thank you, Slytherin and Tofu?
I don't.
Who was it?
I don't think
Somebody.
it was Tofu. I think I don't know. I forget who. Thank you. I forget
Thank
who.
you.
I know Slytherin was one, but I forget who.
Yeah, Slytherin was one. Was it Ari Targaryen? Oh, they got you Breath of the Wild. How's that going?
Breath of the Wild's going great. Played some last night. What did I do? I spent a lot of time lighting torches.
Got a new controller to light those torches too.
I did. Paragliding around. I'm just running around the town of Hatino right now.
Sick.
It's a lot I'm not advancing in the story, but it's so much just like random stuff you can do. Like I'm trying
That's
to
what I hate about those open world games, dude. I get lost in the side quests.
I'm just going to do the side quest. I will probably never finish that game, but probably put way too much time into it.
Yeah.
I look at the map and I'm like, that is vast. But there's just so much interesting stuff to do, and I haven't even cracked it open yet. But I'm gonna play some more tonight.
But Amazon wishlist. If you want to get a shout out, Apple Podcast 5-star rating, review, Spotify 5-star rating, take a screenshot of it, send it into us, or get us something off of that Amazon wishlist. Maybe you'll see Veronica Mars stuff on there because it's leaving Hulu. We got merch. Instagram, Apple is watching Buffy. TikTok, Apple is watching Buffy. Buffy vs. Burlesque. I already talked about that. And stay tuned next time for when we talk about Mars versus Mars.
Heard of a rapper named Dimebag?
Dad, I thought you read Vibe. Shot my boo? Thuggin'?
Lovely tunes, I'm sure.
Seltzer Kings.
Podcasts.